Welcome to my humble podcast of how to make fantasy races fantastic. In my opinion, start with biology. Make the biology different, you'll make them different. They'll stop being tall humans with spark ears, short, drunken humans, short, annoying humans, or ugly, crude humans. Your elves, your dwarves, your hobbits, your orcs. Make them different. Elves. How do you make elves different? I think of what an elf looks like. They're tall, they're thin. There's not a lot of sexual dimorphism in elves. They all seem to look the same in the artwork. They're a bit like marsupials. There is no real great need to be morphically different. If you're a marsupial, because all mum has is a pouch. And elves be like that. But instead of a pouch, maybe they stick their freshly little young in a tree pod where they are gestated. And this is why elves will guard their sacred groves to the death. Because they're not just guarding a bunch of trees, they're guarding their children. Dwarves. Dwarves to be used social, like bees, or ants, or cave moles. There are only a few breeding females in any dwarf clan, serviced by an equally select number of dwarven males, the most highest status dwarves in their society. Everyone else is a neuter. Technically, in our biology, that means they'll be defaultly female. But because fantasy is what fantasy is, maybe everyone thinks that they're male. Odd but true. So anyway, that's how dwarven society works. Only a few breeders. Everyone else is trying to become a breeder. How do you become a breeder in dwarf society? You get a lot of influence. You get a lot of power. You get a lot of gold. That's why dwarves want gold. Gold is the main component in making whatever the royal jelly equivalent is to convert them from a neutral dwarf into a breeding dwarf, either truly male or truly female. And that's how dwarves can be different. Everyone thinks they're all males, they're all females, but that's because they are. Hobbits. The disgusting little horrible creatures that they are. How do you make them different? Well, it's a fantasy universe. There are guards of hobbitses. Not only the gods know why you don't want to be a god of hobbits, but if you were at the back of the queue and godly portfolios are being given out, then maybe you have to make do. And since you were at the back of the queue, maybe they won't give you that talk. But where mortals come from, the birds and the bees, sex. So the poor hobbit guard, or goddess, is a rather stupid creature who never got that explained to them. But, well, definitely needs more worshippers, so well, you get to be a new hobbit if mum and dad are just very good hobbits. The baby hobbit turns up with the morning milk. It's a miracle! And for hobbits it really is. Because that card never made the connection. Hobbits still have sex a lot, because, well, apparently you got programmed to do that, but didn't make the connection between sex and babies. So, hobbit children just arrive with the milk and the morning paper, whatever the equivalent is in your fantasy land. That makes them different. They're just this spontaneously generating, fecund little society of things. Orcs. How do you make orcs different? Well, everyone knows how you can make orcs different. They just have multiple litters. Think about that for a minute. You have multiple litters. They probably birth them all into giant communal orc pits where they fight it out. And only the strongest survive, because, well, you know, orcs, they're natural social balanists. That's how orcs get to be different. They just breed them like, they just pop them out like anything. And then they throw them into the orcling pits, which they occasionally throw in a rat or a goblin or a gnome to feed on, and they fight it out, and every once in a while a new, fresh, tough orc bursts out of the pits, gets out, looks around, picks up a club or a sword, and is ready to serve the Dark Lord again. So that's how you can make your base races interesting, different, fantastic. Thank you, that's been my brief thoughts on the matter. Adieu.